each one individually, and then I laid it on top of each other. These guys are half sheets of construction paper. So if you want to make it a card, you totally can. It'd be kind of a cute card. I'm going to make mine a card today. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to be layering these guys, and each of these shapes is part of a whole. So here's the drawing of the whole thing. So this shape right here on your page is this shape right here, right? And then I'll layer it on top is the wing, and here's the wing. So that's basically like I have it labeled. This is like the I and I2. So if it has a number 2 after it, means it goes on top. So there's the underside of the I, the little ring, and then the other one on top. So we'll be thinking about that as we go along. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about what I want the body of my bird to be, what color. You can work in markers or you can work in crayons. A word of warning about crayons: if you do a lot of crayons, you won't be able to color with marker over top later. If you do crayons, do it lightly, and then you can go over and we're going to layer with different color. We're using mixed media today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start coloring the body. And this is the cool thing, you do not have to stay inside the lines when you're doing this. You can just kind of pick a motion or a kind of technique. I'm going to kind of do circles like this on and it's just I'm going to go outside the lines. I'm going to go all over the body of my bird, and I'm going to lay down, and this is a pretty light color. So I'm actually going to go find a different darker color and go over it. But now I have like that, all those swiggly lines. Now I'm going to find a different color. Let's see this one. Do I like this one? Yeah, I like that one. All right, so now I'm going to go over it again with this color. Just making like almost a texture. Maybe I can make bigger lines like this. Yeah, I like that. Pretty wild. All right, so once I got my body filled in, now I'm going to color in the wing, and I'm going to decide what kind of colors I want on the wing. I'm going to use markers this time, maybe a bright orange color wing. Okay, and I'm gonna make some marks. Let's see. Let's go like this. I'm gonna go like this. If you're going faster than me, you can keep on going. You can color different things. Notice this one is the beak 2 and the beak. The beak is this part right here, and the beak 2 is this part right here, the nose kind of part. So just as you're thinking of colors, what colors you want to make them, think about those. So hopefully you guys can see, I'm not staying inside the lines, and I'll be able to see my outline of the shape that I'll cut later. So I'm just kind of coloring the whole thing as like in a messy pattern. This feather, I'm only going to color it in halfway, and the tip of it is going to be white. I'm choosing to leave it white. So you can do that too. If you choose to leave something white, that's totally a viable option. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be cutting out each of these shapes really carefully. And sometimes it's helpful if there's like a bunch of little shapes, like there are right here. I just cut out that whole section like in a big chunk, so I'm not fighting against the page. And so when I go in to cut these guys, I'll just be able to cut it real easy. Note on using scissors, make sure that you're going all the way, opening your scissors all the way up and going along the line real slow. Let's see. I have one of my shapes. I'm going to switch to the top view and you guys can follow along and we'll cut everything out, okay? All right, let's do this. I'm just going to cut out all of my shapes. You ready? I'm ready. Oops, I almost lost all my things. Whoa! All right. So now, you guys are ready. We're gonna start gluing them things down. So I'm gonna look at my thing and check that I actually like the design that I made. I'm just arranging my bird kind of the way I'm going to plan to put it down. I haven't glued anything down yet. Okay. Wow. I have a bright, crazy bird. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I kind of arranged the main parts how I thought I might like them. You might have noticed I turned this one over because I didn't like the colors that it turned out, so I just turned it over. Use the back side. Make a white face instead of that kind of funny brown color. And then I'm going to take everything off really carefully. I'm just going to slide it off and slide it, and then I'm going to turn this over so I can glue this down. And one part at a time, I'm going to put it back with glue. But it's important to kind of piece it together first before you glue it down, just so that you can kind of see what it looks like and decide if you want to make any changes, because what makes it your artwork is what you choose to do with it, right? Down. Now I have my bird. Now I'm going to think about these feathers. And I'm going to kind of start playing with where I put the feathers. And again, I'm not going to glue them down right away. I'm just going to try it out and then maybe decide if I like where I put them. And you don't have to just put them on their heads. You can put them down below too, like this. Different feathers and shapes. So I've placed my feathers kind of how I want them. I haven't glued them down yet, but I just planned ahead, and that's part of what this today is about, planning ahead. And so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to glue them all. I have to wash my hands after this. Can you do that one down? All right. So I have everything glued down. The very last thing you can do with this is you can give details, just like I did with my little guy. I put like all these little marks down here. Those are all marker with my marker. So some of the shapes that I use pretty often when I was doing these marks are this kind of like these half circle shapes and these little plus mark shapes and polka dots. So let me kind of zoom in for you guys so you guys can see it. So I did a lot of little like, oh, there's triangles and half circles and hearts and little plus signs and polka dots. And I just kind of spread it all over. Those birds kind of have feathers that kind of curve around the back of their head. So I kind of did that. I put a big dot there just because I thought it would be fun. Little lines. So you can do little patterns and shapes all over. You can add a little nose and add some darker line underneath his bill, all with your whatever color you kind of want to do. Just like, so there's a nice line under his bill that makes his bill stand out a little bit more. I could do a little dot here, some little plus marks, just for fun. You can take the patterns that you do, you can take them over from one shape to the next shape, and it kind of makes everything kind of come together. All right. So I could take it forever on that, but just kind of, you can play on it, you can add little details wherever you like.